It's Platt, and today we try a beer named after a prehistoric shark. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. One of the things I like about the craft brewing industry is that there's so many breweries and so many beers being made, and each one needs a name. So there's a point in time where you kind of run out of conventional names and people start coming up with some creative stuff. And we got a little bit of that this week. The particular beer we have is the Megalodon. It is a IPA from Ninkasi Brewing. A little bit about Ninkasi. Ninkasi Brewing is a microbrewery in Eugene, Oregon. The name Ninkasi is, the brewery itself was named after the Sumerian goddess of beer, Ninkasi. So I thought that was pretty neat. Obviously, someone at the brewery is a brewing historian. The brewery itself was founded in 2006 by a gentleman named Ninkasi Reg and Jamie Floyd. Ninkasi was from the West Coast, but had recently just moved back from Manhattan, where he had a burgeoning finance career, but was kind of feeling burnt out, wanted to get back on the West Coast. Jamie had started brewing in college, and after college had gotten a job in a brewing. There's a brewery in the area called Steelhead Brewery that he had worked at as an assistant brewer for a while, but now he was kind of getting ready to have his own thing. Well, they started hanging out, having a few beers, and of course one thing led to another, and with each one's skill sets kind of working hand to hand. You know, Nikos was the finance guy, Jamie was the brewer. They were able to scrape together money, and in 2006 they started a brewery. They actually brewed their first batch of beer in June 2006. It was their Total Domination Ipa, and still to this day it's the company's flagship beer. They actually, for about the first 6 months of the company, they brewed in a 15-barrel brew house that was inside a German restaurant. They did not have their own physical brewery at the time. A lot of breweries start out like this. It's capital intensive to build your own brewery, get everything zoned, this, that, and the other. And a lot of small brewers sometimes have excess capacity. Let's say they brew 4 days a week, and they may have a couple extra days. And sometimes arrangements are made to let them come in and use their brewing line, and even if they have a kegging line or a bottling line, use that too. And that's what Ninkasi did for about the first 6 months. And then in 2007, they ended up moving into the facility they're currently at today in Eugene, Oregon. They originally, I believe, were just down the road a little bit. Springfield, or not Springfield. Yeah, maybe it's Springfield. Anyway, they were in another city, but moved to Eugene, where they're headquartered at today. They currently have over 100 employees and are the 38th largest craft brewer in America. Some of their other beers they offer, Dawn of the Red IPA. They have one called Triceratops. It is a double IPA. And my favorite beer that they brew is called Otis. It's an oatmeal stout. It's a real good beer. I like the malty beers. Excellent brew. Well, before we try the Megalodon, though, let's check out the stats. Alright, this particular beer we have here is the Megalodon. You may or may not be able to see on the label, but there's a giant shark on there. And that's what a Megalodon was. Little bit of prehistoric history here. The Megalodon, or the term Megalodon means big tooth. And that's actually how scientists have figured out the size of the shark. They've found several of the teeth embedded several spots over the planet. Supposedly the Megalodon swam the oceans worldwide back in the day. But anyway, some of the teeth they found were close to 7 inches in size, massive teeth. So they extrapolated it out to figure out how big this creature was. The Megalodon existed from anywhere from 23 million to 3.6 million years ago. Once you see the projected size of this animal or whatever, it's really good that this thing's not around anymore. This thing was massive. Due to the teeth they found, they projected out that the average Megalodon was 34 feet in length, but could grow as big as 59 feet in length. To have some kind of a modern comparison, the largest great whites they find today are 20 feet in length, so almost twice, roughly twice the length of today's largest great whites, which in and of itself is frightening. One of the things they've also projected out too is the bite strength of the Megalodon. They projected anywhere between 25,000 and 40,000 pounds per foot of pressure was exerted by the Megalodon's jaw. Now, again, to compare it to the great white, which is our biggest, baddest shark out there now, the great white's bite strength is roughly 4,100 pounds per foot. So disproportionately larger animal, stronger bite, larger teeth. This thing must have been absolutely frightening at the time. So it just kind of puts in your head something powerful, something big. Shark Week, several times the Discovery Channel Shark Weeks had 2 or 3 programs featuring the Megalodon itself. You might remember the campy movie that came out a few years ago, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, where the shark, I believe, was a hibernating Megalodon that through global warming or something came back alive. But the Megalodon was quite an impressive creature, and hopefully the Megalodon beer is an impressive beer. Real quick, on the label, it calls it a legendary IPA. I found older iterations of Megalodon where they referred to it as a double IPA. I've seen some people refer to it as an Imperial IPA, so it's IPA-ish. I'm not sure, specifically, but we are going to give her a try. All right, slight haze. Little orangish color, not quite a finger width of light khaki head. All right, plenty of hops up front, which kind of what you expect from an IPA. Let's give her a try. Sweeter than I was expecting. Looking at the IBUs of our This is nice. Not as hoppy, not even as long a finish as I was projecting. At 10% ABV, though, that's where you kind of get to the point where a beer, you would normally have a warming. I'm not getting that on this beer. It's not hot in any way. The alcohol really isn't that noticeable. And 10%, that's where normally, if this was a maltier type beer, porter, stout, you would call them almost a winter warmer at 10%. I'm not getting that. I'm getting a little bit of that citrusy kind of notes on it. Maybe that's part of the hops. In these traditional West Coast IPAs, you get a little bit of citrus notes from the hops. Overall, an okay beer. It doesn't pop with hop freshness or, a good IPA. They're supposed to give you plenty of hops, supposed to, give you that bitterness in the back. You really kind of like the fresh kind of West Coast kind of hop thing. It's not doing that. It's a little maltier beer. But I don't know if it falls in like a classic, if you're a malt beer guy like me, it's still not the kind of malt I'm used to. It's drinkable. It's drinkable beer. Like I said, you don't really notice the 10% alcohol, which could be kind of dangerous because this does go down fairly easy. Body-wise, medium plushish on the body. Like I said, there's just a little more malt and mouthfeel in it. Finish, medium minus. And not a ton of hops on that finish. Overall, okay beer. I prefer their Otis, the stout, the oatmeal stout. That's probably a better beer than this. But give their beers a try. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or beers that you would like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.